Hello. There we go. Should be live now. Let's just see here. Fixing the microphone real quick. Alright. There we are. Should be live now. Hopefully this is good. Let's see if we can get the live stream up here. This is good. Let's see if we can get the post and profile and pin to profile. Right, there we are. Okay, so let's get started here. A massive hole in the sun bigger than 60 Earth released strong solar wind directly to Earth. This immense area of darkness appeared nearing the sun equator on December 2nd has grown to astonishing width of nearly 497 miles. 400,090 whatever. Knocks out all the power and my death. Welcome in 86. Yeah. So whatever that. So 400. So this hole right here. That hole, right? That's how it looks like. 497,000 miles. This is massive. Anything that looks like this on the sun it's 60 Earths. There you have it. To put it into perspective, that's more than 60 Earths lined up next to each other. So India today reported, it came from India. Do I believe it? Yeah, kind of. Sometimes, maybe. The coronal hole is currently moving away from Earth. However, a few days ago, when in position along the equator, it was directly facing Earth, sending a stream of particles our way. This resulted in a mild solar storm, but there's no need for concern. The hole is part of the sun's regular pattern of active behavior during the solar maximum phase, according to Science Alert. The sun has been quite active lately, which is normal during its cycle of increased activity. These cycles included sunspots, solar flares, coronal mass ejection, and coronal holes. This heightened activity reached its peak, called solar maximum, before climbing down during solar minimum, a phase of relative quiet and reduced activity. Yeah, and the sun's magnetic moves and the mystery of coronal holes. The cycle seems to be linked to the Earth's magnetic cycle, which coincides with the reversal of the solar magnetic field polarity. During this process, the north and south pole of the sun switch places. In contrast, a coronal hole is a large area where the solar magnetic field opens up. Unlike sunspots, we can see them in regular light, but in ultraviolet wavelengths, they appear as larger, dark patches that are cooler than their surroundings. Because the magnetic field is open in these areas, and the solar wind can escape more easily, it's resulted in a more robust flow of solar particles and plasma into the solar system, swirling around any planets that may be in the path. Okay. So that's as far as I understand from that situation there. It's large, but it's nothing to worry about. Don't worry. I think we're okay. Yeah. More things continue to occur in Ukraine here. It's the current weather conditions, as you can see. The Swedish supplied Stridsvagn 122 Leopard 2A5. It serves with the Ukrainian 21st Mechanized Brigade. can't even play that music there. But there you have it. And that it's current weather conditions there, but of course the tank's still rolling forward. But look at the ground there, all muddy up. What a beast, though! What a beast. Today, you've probably seen this guy before. I don't know if you have, but I've seen him before. A momentum to the military officer Alexander Metsisky or something like that, who was shot by the Russian military after saying "Glory to Ukraine" was unalived. Oh, sorry, not unalived. Was unveiled in Kyiv. The sculpture was installed on the territory of Kyiv Fortress. Rest in peace. This is him. So this is a statue, very like life. It's almost like one of those wax figures. It may even be wax. I'm not aware, but this right here is him. Well, it's not him. Sorry, I don't know what the fuck I'm even on about right now. Of course, you know it's not him. It's a sculpture. It's not alive, right? That's what I'm saying. It just looks very much alive, and actually looks extremely lifelike. And it's a sculpture though, and it's sort of he's kind of a Ukrainian hero, sort of a folklore kind of person, and you know, that's kind of where we say good on them, because it's really a cool kind of thing, and may he rest in peace, of course. Okay, so in the armed forces of Ukraine will be able to destroy the Crimean bridge if they get enough ATACMS and Tires missiles, Ben Hodges. The destruction of the bridge can become the key to the victory of the Ukrainian, not only in Crimea, but also in the war in general. Certainly will. I mean, he cut off the supplies for the Russians. That's one thing. You know, the Russians will have to spend a lot of time getting that up going again. If they can't do that, well, then they're fucked. So... the Crimean bridge, taking that out would certainly help the Ukrainian in such a great way. However, the Ukrainians have also noted that the Russians have built extensive railway networks throughout the occupied areas. So it certainly will help, but it's also what they say. They need to target those railways as well. Need to get the coordinates of that. Of course they can. Of course they will. This right here is Putin in Saudi Arabia, who gave a big handshake to the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia. These guys have actually previously been quite good friends, and they've said hello to each other before. But yeah, he arrived in Saudi Arabia here today. He was talking to the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia. The man no one is allowed to touch unless he touches you first, which is a weird sort of thing. Sounds weird. It sounds weird, right? You're not allowed to touch him unless he touches you first, which is, you know, ooh. The 12th Brigade of the Army Aviation sends holiday greetings, and special gifts will be brought to the invaders. Christmas in Ukraine.
До чемних хлопчиків та дівчаток з повним мішком подарунків приходить Святий Миколай. За добрі вчинки протягом року він дарує маленьким і дорослим любов, радість.
It's special Christmas in Ukraine.
Тільки загарбникам Миколай в День Збройних Сил України принесе особливі подарунки, а птахи армійської авіації йому в цьому допоможуть.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, with the teeth. Yeah. Ooh. The early Christmas presents is already coming to the Russian occupiers, coming to a city near you very soon. It's going to come out very soon. And, well, it won't be a great time. You know why? Because it's going to suck for the Russian invaders. However, there has been a lot of reports lately if the Western world doesn't pick up its act in, supplying the Ukrainians, there will be direct consequences concerning the fact that Russia will eventually end up in war with Europe. I mean, that's inevitable at this point. We knew it. I've been saying for a while. Unless you want to avoid sending your children and your young children to war, which is what America seems to think they can avoid by then we spend too much money. How do you have any idea how much money you'd have to spend when you actually go to war against Russia if you actually were to do that, which is very likely the path we're heading downwards. Also, being at war in the Pacific, you could end everything. End everything. Any hostility that they say that's going to happen. China going to war with Taiwan, Russia going for Ukraine, and all those hostilities. Defeat Russia, you'll end China's reign of trying to concern things, because I'll tell you right now, China is nothing without Russia. Russia is nothing without China. Okay? China relies on the massive resources coming out from Russia. If we can force that to stop by winning over the Russians, we will 100% compete with the Chinese. So, yeah. Unless you want to avoid sending your children to war, I suggest that you start to wake the fuck up and start realizing that if we don't send proper equipment and the proper needs for Ukraine, who are sending their young men, young women, young men to die on a battlefield for us, which they're fighting for us, can never be more internally grateful for the Ukrainians who fought for us. They will always be eternally respected. People say you're not given respect, you earn it. Well, I'll tell you what, those Ukrainians, they've definitely earned it. Yeah. The president of Kazakhstan, Tokayev, scored a truly fantastic goal, and the most fantastic thing is that he hit one ball, but in the goal there was a completely different looking ball. So that was the one ball. Goes down to the ground. He's gonna kick it. Look at that. Start kicking it. Oh, and it's a completely different ball that goes in. It's completely different daylight as well. It just kind of look like it goes in, but it kind of looks like he saves it. Kind of looks like maybe he saves it. And then they cut to a ball going in. It's a completely different ball. Look at that. Look at that ball. Look at that ball. It's not the same ball. These propaganda bullshit, These guys. Another thing, I want to bring this over to you immediately here as we see it. Nicolas Maduro officially declared the creation of the 24th Venezuelan province in Essequibo. Found that was this Venezuelan state released a new official map of Venezuela, which includes the oil-rich Essequibo region of its neighboring state of Guyana. Will they invade? This piece right here, that's Guyana. This piece here, and Venezuelans said that it belongs to them. It's very rich in oil, which means they can get to control more oil, and the corrupt government inside Venezuela can get to earn more money on it. That's really all they want. They really want to spend human lives because they want some more money. That's the reason you shouldn't have bullshit politicians. In fact, I don't think we should have have a one-party rule system anywhere. The reason why we don't have that in democracies is because, well, then there are decisions to be made. There are people who can make more decisions at once, and there will always be a rational guy within the midst of it who will tell them no. There will be that one extremist, but there will also be a 90% of non-extremists, which is, So there's been a big blockade lately of the Polish border. So some people have found a way to go around. The way they want to go around is that one way to go around the Polish border truck blockade. So, so that because they can't go by the road, they can go by the railroad because they can't stop trains, but they can have the trucks loaded on a train and then actually have the train drive it through the Ukrainian border and get it there. So they've found a loophole. They're actually getting the trucks through, which is a good thing, at least some of them. But of course, there's still thousands of trucks, and it was very limited in its transportation when you think about it. Unless they give a lot more of those cartridges, they could move 50 at a time if they have it like a long ass train. But you know, it's whatevs. It's whatevs. So deep state, let's check that out. Yeah, some more Gaza shit. I don't really care about that Israel thing anymore. What the fuck does it even matter? Israel won. It's over. Some smaller movements, some people have said that the Russians have retreated in the area around here. It is true, however, they have also advanced over here. Some are saying it's more like a troop movement because it's harder to hold this than it is to hold this. So that's one thing. Listen, I am very much pro-Ukrainian if you've just come in, if you don't know. But listen, this is very intense lately. And you know, I'm not sitting here and saying that the Russians are winning. I'm sitting here and saying that the Ukrainians are running out of supplies. And I certainly think that there are shortages at the front of the Ukrainian lines. And that the Andavika fight is becoming a dire fight for anything. Yeah.
І це чиста правда.
Happy Finnish National Day. Happy Finnish National Day. That's what I want to say. It's Finnish National Day today. Finnish nation was formed about 100 years ago. They fought off any invader trying to invade their country, all the way from the Germans to the, well, kind of the Germans. Not really. They kind of joined forces. The Russians, and the Russians. So, you know, they fought off against the Russians many, many times, and they've won every single time. Have you seen? Let me try. Bask. Zelensky warns Congress Defense Department. What? Okay, DoD, right? The Kyiv will lose without aid. Kyiv will lose without aid, and that's true. They will. The Brazilian army is sending 16 4x4 Guaycurus armored multitasking vehicles on the border with Guyana and Venezuela to arrive before December 20th. In addition, the 1st Jungle Infantry Brigade 2,000 troops has stepped up its presence at the contact zone with the two countries. It does appear that Brazil has either stepped up to defend it or help it, or either to invade it by themselves. So, it's hard to really realize with these countries here. I mean, Brazil is pretty much a communist country when it comes to it all, so whatever, right? But only just sent an official note to Beijing notifying Xi Jinping that Italy is quitting China's Belt and Road Initiative. Yeah, because I don't really want Chinese road to be built. I mean, listen, people keep saying, "Oh, Chinese, they're so great at building things." They're not. They just build it. They just build it fast. The things that the Chinese built isn't what I would call quality built stuff. Real quality built stuff, American made, things that aren't, bypassed by cheap fucking options. China is building more motorways that it can afford. And also, it's building so much motorway that the petrol stops, in which, you need a lot of petrol stops, many of them aren't even open yet, which is the most funny thing, right? Yeah. The Kim Jong-un bursts into but listen, they can build bridges and roads, but I wouldn't call it quality stuff. Kim Jong-un burst into tears while calling on North Korean women to have more children. So this is North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, that I don't know what the fuck he has on his chin right there. I think he ate something and forgot to brush it off his face, or big ass pimple or something. So he really, I don't know what the fuck that is. Holy shit, Kim Jong-un, you forgot to brush it off. So Kim Jong-un, who calls on the women of the nation to have more children because the rate of children being born in North Korea is going down. He can't fathom by himself. He doesn't understand as to why. They can't imagine as to why, right? Holy fucking shit. So they can't imagine. Sorry, what is that? I don't know what it is, 86. I don't know. But the funny thing is about they can't imagine understanding as to why they're not getting any more children. It's almost like not feeding your people, not having proper means of feeding, and having starvation in your country is almost like a thing that makes you, I don't know, not have more children. You understand why? You ask me why, and I say to you, I understand why, because people can't have children if they're fucking malnourished. Also, if they don't have food, which let me understate that, they don't have fucking food. So how the fuck would the North Korean people be able to have more children if the people doesn't have any food? They have food, but all the North Korean people think about is every single day is food survival. Survival. How do I get food? How do I, and then they think about breakfast. They have to think about breakfast. They probably don't eat breakfast. They have to think about dinner. They eat one time a day, very likely. They have to think about that. That's all they go around thinking about. Do they have jobs? Very likely, but it's not paid jobs. They're not really. Well, maybe it's paid, but it's certainly not well paid. This fucking terrible shit. This right here is one of the things that annoys me the most. You're not in fucking Palestine, okay? And you're in fucking London. You're in England, right? And so these people, they're wearing out the windows. They're wearing their national flag. They call it the Palestinian flag. Now, to my fucking actions, that I understand that you want to be proud of your country, of course, but the fuck is that? What happened to England? Really, what happened to them? The greatest nation on earth, owned 90% of the earth. What the fuck happened to them? Really, it's a weak leadership. And you say to me, do you not want immigrants in your country? No. Listen, I want the people that understand how to live in a society that isn't trying to kill itself. Okay? That's what I want. Is that too much to ask? What do I not want? I don't want people that live in my country that only wants one thing, which is to destroy the country in which I live in. So no, I don't want traitors in my country. No, I don't want people who want to harm my country. I want people who want to work and pay their fucking taxes. If that's something that you find offensive, listen to me. That's fucking life, okay? Ain't no fucking things given to you in life. All these people, they play victims every single time. They act like we're gonna what? Give them their life? No, you're not gonna be given your life. You're gonna have to work for it. Now listen, I will say one thing. it doesn't mean that the Western countries have to stop continuously talking about kicking them out. Because of course it's annoying if you move to another country and that country continuously talks about kicking you out. But it's kind of double standard because in every country, every single country they come from, where there's people that have actually migrated to the country in which they came from, they've kicked those people out. If you were to say, I'm going to move to the Middle East, many times they will kick you out. If they will. They're not going to let you stay. But the funny thing is, we have to let them stay. I will not want to kick out people who obey the rules. Now, when I say obey the rules, I don't mean being law-abiding citizens every single day and not jaywalking. Jaywalk, I kick you out. No. People that generally wants to have a better life. That's what I'm trying to say here. I'm not somebody who wants to kick people out. I'm not. I'm just saying I'm fucking sick and tired of all this bullshit. Why can't you just understand that what we want is to live in peace? We don't want that. But the governments also have to stop fucking going around and saying, let's kick them out. Let's kick them out. Just accept they're here. Accept they're here. Create jobs. Okay? Realize that for many reasons it is a gift that they're here, because the factor is we do have jobs that we can, we have jobs that all of a sudden can be filled. And that's what I want. That's honestly what I want. I don't want to kick everybody out. Of course not. There's children. There's people that generally do good things for this country. And I'm not saying, hey, you're a child, right? And you're living in this country. You can't be sick. You can't go on holidays. You can't all that stuff. I think it's ridiculous that when they work hard, work their asses off, and actually pay taxes, they're law-abiding citizens in the way that they are in their own way. And they have a culture. But then we don't respect that. It's kind of like a double standard. I don't want terrorists in my country. I don't want traitors in my country. What I do want is people. Terrorists are not people. Because people don't have a natural instinct to want to blow people up. Okay, that's humans. That's a terrorist. I wouldn't call a terrorist a fucking people. It's fucking human. No. I don't want those people in my country. I don't want terrorists. You say to me, well, do you want Muslims? All these people who go around saying, do you want all those Muslims? Do you want all those? Listen, I don't give a fuck where the fuck you're from, what your religion is. If you're a terrorist, I don't want you. Other than that, come on in. Seriously. Because the factor is, they have to respect us just as much as we have to respect them. They're humans. We are humans. We live on the same fucking planet. Okay? It's just time for us to start realizing that when these people become criminals, and they really become criminals, they start killing, not killing people, but they become part of gangs. Do we really want the idea of these people coming in and creating gangs? I don't know, but I don't think that's reality. I don't think the reality is, these people, they come into my country and they create gangs and they shoot up the streets. What the fuck are you even talking about? People say America is bad now. In 1970 in America, okay, let me just point something out for you. In 1970 America, which is where very little migrants actually lived in America. Well, there were migrants, of course, but, mass migration hadn't really been a thing yet. In New York, oh my God, it was homicide city. People were dying left and right. Serial killers were all around. There's always been killers. There's always been those people you don't like. Stop saying that every person, every legal migrant that's come to our countries, all those illegal migrants. God damn, shut the fuck up, will you? Because a lot of them are not fucking terrorists, okay? Not all Muslims are terrorists. Fucking realize that. Extremists, okay? Extremists. They're terrorists, okay? Extremists are terrorists. They're traitors. They're the people we really should think about thinking about, do we really want them to be here? I'm just pointing out the fact of what I'm trying to say is, it's a long drawn kind of thing because I don't really know how to put it, but what I'm really trying to say is, I have to put it, I want to realize to the people we have in this country, they're not terrorists just because they're Muslims, okay? And they're not bad people just because they're Muslims. They're simple. They're people. They just want a life. They want a life differently. But we treat them like they're not people. We treat them like they're some fucking science project. Okay? Why not just let them live here? If they commit a crime, then arrest them. That's, you know, likewise, if a white person, if somebody who lives in this country, who already lived in this country, commits a crime, arrest them. Listen, when you commit a crime, you commit a crime. When you're law-abiding citizens who go to work just as much as everybody else, and then we say to you, "Oh, listen here, you know, you're not from this country." But sir, I've worked my whole life in this country. Well, you're not from this country. Shut the fuck up. Listen, these people are not people who would betray the idea of what they have built. Why not give them a proper life? Why not stop talking about kicking them out constantly? How would you feel if every single second of your life somebody came around and said, "Oh, I'm gonna kick you out. 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 We have to change these. We have to change them. We have to change them." What the fuck is that talk? When they come into our country, we keep saying we have to change them into how we are. That's the problem. You can't change somebody who lived in another country, who have that culture, to change them into being who you are, who the country you are. You know, having the culture and the traditions that you have. Yeah, they're not always nice. They're not always the best. But, you know, how would you act if you came from a war-torn country? Right? A country you've seen your home blown underneath your feet. From people, keep in mind, the people that blew up your village, you know, you moved to a country whose best ally is that country, or the country that you just moved to may have even been part of blowing up your village. You know? I mean, how would you imagine? How would you think so? And then they say they don't like the country they live in. And then we say, you ought to be respectful. Why don't you go back? Every single day, Americans say they don't like America. Every single day, Danish people say they don't like Denmark anymore. What do you think? That's because the migrants are here? No, it's because we have shit fucking politicians. It's because shit fucking leadership. It has nothing to do with the migrants. It has nothing to do with the Muslims. It has nothing to do with anybody. Listen, you hate your country because they have shit fucking leaders. They have weak as fuck leaders. It's nothing to do with the migrants. If somebody walks around the streets of London with a fucking knife, and you say to me that's all those migrants, well then fucking arrest them. You know, what are you on about? And you say, well, we have to, you know, consider all the human rights. What are you talking about? If they go around with a knife, threatens people with a knife, that's a crime. Arrest them. Stop making it into a fucking special case. Stop saying, oh, that was a migrant doing that. Fuck off. That doesn't matter. They go around with a knife. They go around with a knife. Grow the fuck up, you know, and then put in some fucking real policies. Make some money off it. God damn it. Listen, I'm just trying to say one thing here is we have this whole fucking Europe is turning into this fuckfest of racism. Okay? And I don't give a fuck if you think that this whole idea of like people being migrants in Europe is bad and that we should kick them all out. That's some old people shit. You know, that's all these old people talking about, oh, we should kick them out. Denmark was so much better back then. Really? Really, motherfucker? You say to me Denmark was so much better back then? Listen to me. Denmark wasn't better back then. Okay? People were earning shit. You know, people weren't earning any money back then. The only difference nowadays is that there's more people that doesn't exactly look like us. That's not the fucking difference. Okay? And if you want to say to me you want to kick everybody out of your country, no. I don't want to kick anybody out of this country. I want to kick out the criminals. I want to kick out the terrorists. I want to kick out the traitors. I don't want to kick out people, honest to God, living people who just wants a better life. And then you say to me, well, why don't they just want to live a better life? Why can't they just live in peace? They're trying. Give them a goddamn chance. And stop being so fucking uptight. You know, what you really need is some better leaders that can actually use the idea that you have migrants in this country to actually use that for betterism, to actually give them jobs. If they all have jobs, there's no fucking reason for them to become criminals, is there? keep saying they all become criminals. Well, clearly, because you don't fucking give them any jobs. You don't look at the opportunity. You always keep saying, well, we try and give them jobs. The longest, you go down to the job center, right? We have that in Denmark. That line of people, many of them are migrants. And then you say to me, well, why are they becoming criminals? Why are they not paying their tax? Why? Because they don't have a fucking job. You're not giving them jobs. You're not investing in the idea that they're here. There's no fucking jobs for them. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. I'm just saying, because we have to stop thinking that having them here is such a burden, Of course, there are some of them in which we shouldn't. If they're terrorists, if they are genuine terrorists or people who wish us harm, well, I think we should have a serious talk about, does this person need to be here? But everybody else? You think Muslims? You think the Muslims blew up the World Trade Towers? No. Extremists did. The Muslims didn't blow up the World Trade Towers. People keep saying, oh, the Muslims did it. No. Extremists, terrorists did it. Not the Muslims. Osama bin Laden, he wasn't a Muslim. Keep saying, oh, he was a true Muslim. No. He may have been from the Middle East and he may have called himself a Muslim, but in reality, he wasn't. He certainly wasn't part of the religion they have. People keep saying, oh, what a fucked up religion. Well, the religion you realize, the religion you think that these terrorists go by, that's not the true religion that's not the true Islam. I'm just pointing out what I know here. That's not the true one. You think that's honest to God? What Islam really is? No. Or that religion? Here you have it, for example. 814 have passed since the Taliban banned girls from the school, and 350 days since they banned women from universities. 814 days. Afghanistan is the only country in the world where women are banned from education. These are angry and chanting death to the Taliban. Yeah. So yeah, to me, right? You say to me, and people keep saying, "Oh my God," all this. People keep saying to me, are you telling me that the Taliban is a bad place? And you telling me you're walking around, the women that are walking around with a scarf of the Taliban, the Talibanians, the scarf that they use. Do they understand what the fuck that means? Do they understand what's happening in Taliban to women? Do they understand that there is no education for women anymore? There is nothing. There's nothing. The Taliban are the real criminals. They're outdated. They say they're the only country in the world where women aren't allowed to be educated. Well, that's bullshit, because North Korea doesn't allow it either. Well, you keep saying to me, oh, they do actually. No, they don't. They don't. Trust me. They don't allow, most of them, no. If you're in the higher classes, sure, but most of them don't even go to school. So they may allow it in, the law passing of Biden, because, of course, North Korea puts out propaganda constantly about how they are best country in the world. So, of course, they allow it, with their law system. But I doubt the factor that 90% of them have even gone to school, Only the higher classes and the people that show to be actual smart, yeah. Whatever.
Hey guys, I just got back from serving 9 months in the Ukrainian Armed Forces as an infantry soldier. I'm also an American.
Oh, look at that. Brave MIT student speaks about those in charge of MIT ignore the anti-Semitic intimidation campaigns now targeting Jewish students on campus. She says a friend of her hasn't left his dorm for weeks due to death threats. Fake.
President of the MIT Israel Alliance.
Fakely. Oh my God, I read that. Go back to Israel. Well, that's funny, right? That's the thing, right? Keep saying to me, shouldn't we kick back those people who are protesting Taliban? No, here's what we should kick back. Kick back the fucking people who are threatening to kill Jews. Those are the people. If they really want that, well, go back to your own fucking country. Because the factor is that you want to come here and you say to me you want to kill Jews? Fuck off. That's something I find completely ridiculous. Those are the traitors, and those are the fucking terrorists. You want to terrorize Jews? Well, then you're a fucking terrorist. You think? That's my fucking point of view here. Likewise, by the way, you're a Jew, you want to kill a Muslim? Terrorist. Or, in either ways, you're certainly not a good person, right? No, none of them are. Certainly, that's what I would say a terrorist is. Somebody who wants to kill people because of who they are. You're certainly fascist or communist. That's certainly what you are. Anyways, guys, let's watch Flash Day to the news here. I've had a little bit of talk here. We're going to come back, swing around. Here you have it.
Сьогодні для усіх нас особливий день, особливе свято, особливих людей, хоробрих і загартованих воїнів.
Сьогодні, у День Збройних сил України, я дякую всім, хто робить свою важку роботу. Схиляю голову перед вашим подвигом, перед кожним солдатом, сержантом і офіцером.
Машина сгорела. Вот.
Машина загорелась. Угу.
Ну, увеличь. Вот. Прилетик, Буденновский район.
Дев'ять, 10, 11, 12, 13. Предмет схожий на пістолет, який знаходиться в кобурі.
чемних хлопчиків та дівчаток з повним мішком подарунків приходить Святий Миколай. За добрі вчинки протягом року він дарує маленьким і дорослим любов, радість, тепло та мир. Тільки загарбникам Миколай в День Збройних сил України принесе особливі подарунки.
Real fucking heroes. Now, yeah. Listen, I say controversial things, but I don't think it's controversial. I think it's true. So, sue me. Sue me. Which you're not gonna do. You're not gonna do it. Oh wait, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is currently meeting with some of the military cadre of Pentagon. This is just days after The Rock's interview where he confirmed the parties wanted him to run for president. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson for president. Listen, he's a good actor, but as president, I don't know. Oh, listen, maybe, maybe, you never know, but I don't know. You never know, right? I mean, these people, they come out with all kinds of surprises. You never know. He's gonna surprise, but I don't know if he's gonna do it. The opening of the main Christmas tree in Kyiv. Look at that. Wow. Whoa. Blue and yellow. Wow, that's good. That's really good. Look at that. That's really beautiful. I love that. Thank you. Holy shit. Russian troop losses as of December 6th. Holy shit. 1,270 troops, 14 APVs, 49 vehicles, 13 tanks, 37 artillery pieces, 51 UAVs. Jesus Christ. Very special equipment and one plane. Jesus fucking Christ. Look at all this stuff right here. God, they're getting fucked up. People keep saying to me, Ukraine's not winning. I say they are. In the long run. Listen, Ukraine keeps fighting this righteous war of ideas, and then every time we figure out Zelensky does any backroom deals so he can kind of further the idea of Ukraine to, sometimes winning a war is takes playing a bit dirty. I mean, if you tell me, making deals with the mafia was a bad thing, you should need to tell the United States when they made a deal with the mob to protect their ships, in the bay. Yeah, that's what they did. The United States made a deal with the mafia to protect their ships, to protect the ship's cargo. So that's what they did. So winning wars sometimes takes playing a little bit dirty. Putin wants to play dirty. Ukraine seems to think that wanting to play dirty is going against becoming Russia. No, it's not. Playing a bit dirty once in a while, you get what you want. Okay? Gotta put pressure on him. You gotta put pressure on Joe Biden. You gotta put pressure on the Congress members. Gotta put pressure on them. You put a little pressure, you press the right places, you get what you want. What Zelensky really needs to do is just put a little pressure at the right places. Understand? You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying to you. For the first time, the U.S. indicates 4 Russian soldiers were tortured. Oh, wait. For the first time, U.S. indicate 4 Russian soldiers were tortured. Americans. Oh, tortured Americans. There you go. Zelensky, in his evening address, he noted that active work is underway in Washington and thanked the U.S. for new defense package. All right. Okay, he is playing dirty. No, you say to me he isn't playing dirty. He's playing dirty. This right here is light dirty. This is light pressure work right here, because this is exactly what you need to say sometimes to pressure the wounds a bit. It probably was, I would imagine. It could have happened. Maybe a bit exaggerated. I don't know. Seems like a good number. He should have bumped that up to 10. I'm telling you. Should have bumped it up to 10. You tell me, you say to me, why? Well, it's better sometimes when there's more of them. That's how you do it, Zelensky. Play a little dirty. It's okay. Listen, you think the world's run by fucking cauliflowers? What do you think this is? Fucking paradise? No, it's not. It's run by people who are willing to do a little dirty work to win the war. Yeah, you may have some blood on your hands in the end of it. But ask yourself, is having a bit of blood on your hands worth saving millions of lives? I say to you it is.
Дорогі бойові побратими.
I say it is. By the way, today on the Armed Forces of Ukraine Day, which is today, happy day. In Russia, Turman, a transformer substation in the Severodonetsk railway, was blown up. According to information of the Freedom of Russia resistance movement, they were preparing to transport military equipment through this line. Trains carrying military cargo remained blocked, halting the supplies to the war zone. That's what I'm saying here, Zelensky. He is playing dirty. The way you also play dirty without being too dirty is also by putting some people with a little bit of special sabotage, paying some people off to live inside of Russia to say, listen, guys, here, take some Western money. Take some Western money, blow up some things inside Russia. And the Western world goes, oh my God, what are they doing? What are they doing? Shut the fuck up, will you? Like, grow a pair of fucking balls, will you? Because the realization is, Russia plays dirty, you gotta play dirty too. You realize that Zelensky is using Western money to fund operations inside Russia, to blow some things up inside Russia? Fucking good. Let him do it, okay? What the fuck's your point? Oh my God, shut the fuck up. That's exactly what he should be doing. This is exactly what they should be doing. Using Western money to blow shit up inside Russia. Yeah, because Russia is blowing shit up inside Ukraine. It's only fair that you go the other way as well. Have some dirt on your hands, goddammit. That's exactly what's happening in this Western world. People keep saying, the politicians will always blame the Muslims and the immigrants on the factor that the country is failing. No, it's failing because we have weak fucking leaders. If you don't fucking realize it, start fucking realizing it, you fucking morons. No, really. I'm just saying, the world's failing because we have weak fucking leaders who think playing dirty or doing stuff that, furthers the course of saving millions of lives is what? Wrong? No. Anyways, here's Zelensky's evening address, actually 51 seconds ago. Here's 6 minutes long. Good luck.
День Збройних сил України. Я вітаю вас, воїни. Дякую за вашу міць, за вашу хоробрість, кожному і кожній, хто захищає Україну, наші державні інтереси, інтереси нашого суспільства. Ми всі в Україні вдячні. Відзначив державними нагородами наших воїнів. Напередодні підписав кілька указів до Дня Збройних сил. Загалом понад 700 воїнів відзначені. Усі достойні. Відвідав військовий шпиталь, подякував лікарям, підтримав хлопців, які відновлюються після поранень. Я дякую та пишаюся усіма воєнними лікарями України, усіма нашими бойовими медиками, усіма медичними сестричками і медичними братами, які рятують життя поранених воїнів, які повертають до життя після важких ударів окупанта. Відвідав сьогодні Охматдит на Миколая. І це символічно, що за оновленим календарем два свята тепер співпадають. День наших Збройних сил, основи оборони та День Святого Миколая. Саме життя говорить про те, що мрії наших дітей, безпека українських родин, культура українського народу – це те, що можливо лише на фундаменті могутніх і шанованих Збройних сил України. Їхніх результатів разом з усіма силами оборони та безпеки нашої держави. Важливо, що сила наших воїнів дійсно повертає безпеку нашим людям, нашим дітям, українським містам. Сьогодні перша леді України разом з командою відвідала дві особливі школи у Житомирській області – школи супергероїв. Загалом таких шкіл працює вже 11. Це державні установи під патронатом Олени, які створені саме при дитячих лікарнях. Іноді дітям треба лікуватись в стаціонарі протягом місяців, проходити довгу реабілітацію. І щоб не втрачати в освіті, в лікарнях працюють такі школи, такі особливі вчителі, що дають змогу дітям одночасно і лікуватись, і здобувати освіту. Важливо, щоб ця ініціатива зростала, щоб додавались нові освітні інституції в регіонах. Я вдячний усім, хто допомагає з роботою шкіл супергероїв і хто у такі дні, як сьогодні, допомагає створювати для усіх дітей України, де б вони не були, справжнє свято. Сьогодні також у нас були багато міжнародної роботи. Вдалося повернути в Україну ще 8 українських дітей, які були депортовані в Росію з нашої тимчасово окупованої території. Я дякую державі Катар за дієве посередництво та Дмитру Лубінцю, омбудсмену та всій команді, яка веде цю тему. Активно працюємо у Вашингтоні. Наша українська делегація, голова Верховної Ради Руслан Стефанчук, керівник Офісу Андрій Єрмак, міністр оборони Ростем Умєров. Важливі зустрічі, зокрема в Конгресі Сполучених Штатів, з представниками адміністрації президента Байдена, міністр оборони Остін, держсекретар Блінкен. Робота максимально енергійна. І як результат ми маємо хороші потрібні сигнали для України, а також і новий пакет американської допомоги, військової підтримки. Я дякую за підтримку Сполученим Штатам. Взяв участь в засіданні лідерів Групи Семи. І це вже традиція, що Україна представлена на таких самітах. Я подякував Японії та пану прем'єр-міністру Кішіді за продуктивне та принципове японське головування в Групі Семи. Наступний рік – це головування Італії. Ми вже обговорюємо з Джорджією, пані головою уряду Італії, пріоритети італійського головування. Для мене було важливо подякувати і кожному з лідерів Сімки за особисте лідерство. Є і нова потужна заява Групи Семи, зокрема, на підтримку України. Багато важливих речей для нашої держави, для наших людей враховані в заяві. Сьогодні я також звернувся до учасників і учасниць конференції у Вашингтоні, присвяченої нашій спільній роботі з Америкою щодо оборонного виробництва. Дуже важливо, що наші домовленості з президентом Байденом поступово реалізовуються. Багато зустрічей у Вашингтоні цими днями у керівника Мінстратегпрому Камишина. Але і це ще не все. Я хочу відзначити також роботу з партнерами в Америці, українських правоохоронців та Генерального прокурора Костіна. Вагомі кроки. Сполучені Штати висунули обвинувачення 4 російським військовим, що підозрюються у вчиненні воєнного злочину, катуванні громадянина Сполучених Штатів. Для України принципово, щоб кожен злочин російських окупантів був повністю розслідуваний і отримав законне та справедливе процесуальне продовження, аж до відповідного вироку. І наші інституції разом з партнерами активно працюють щодо цього. Ще одне. Провів нараду з міжнародниками, МЗС, Офіс. Готуємо активне продовження грудня, активний початок наступного року. Україна боротиметься за власні інтереси, за справедливі інтереси кожної вільної нації, бо якщо ми себе можемо захищати, це посилює усіх інших у світі, хто так само, як і ми в Україні, цінує свободу та міжнародний порядок. Я дякую всім, хто б'ється та працює заради України. Слава Збройним силам України, та хай буде світлою пам'ять усіх українських героїв різних часів, які боролися та віддали своє життя, щоб життя України збереглося. Слава Україні!
Slava Ukraina. Thank you, Zelensky. The man, the myth, the legend.
Бажаю здоров'я.
Oh, sorry. Shooting on major shopping street in central Brussels, Belgium. Multiple people injured. Holy shit. Came out there.
Переконати не можна було.
Saw that. Okay. Well, I don't have much more for you. So, I think,
Simple as that.
that we will end it here. Hopefully, the U.S. will pass the bill to Ukraine, so more aid could come to Ukraine, so Ukraine won't be kneecapped, and the advances could go on, and Ukraine can continue to fight as long as it takes to win the war. Probably will take one more year, as far as I understand. And, well, we are hoping to see an end to this war, at least someday. So, Israel's moved to the third phase of its war in Gaza. Don't really care about that anymore. Still movement by the Russians, but small movements, and hopefully these F-16s, hopefully soon coming to Ukraine, will provide Ukraine with what it needs to win this war. Hopefully that will come very soon. As far as I understood, it was going to come December, but I think it's going to be somewhere along early November, early 2024. And yeah.
Light of the full moon.
We'll leave you with this. Happy Finnish International Day. 106th. I said over 100. I was right. NATO ally.
This is my Finland. Our clean nature with glittering snow, northern lights, light of
Such a beautiful country.
misty mornings, midnight sun. Above all, it's safe to live and make things I love here. Happy Independence Day, 106 years old Finland. I'm so proud of you. This is...
If you ever want to go visit a country, go visit Finland. It's absolutely an amazing place. It has its problems, but no, any country in the world has its problem. But it's absolutely stunning. I wouldn't go for Finland for its like, if you want to go, if somebody wants to go party and drinking, sure, it has a lot of special drinking traditions, but it's actually not allowed in Finland to go drink for the purpose of getting drunk. But if you are ever to go anywhere, go to Finland. It's such an amazing place. And it is really, if you ever to go to any of the Nordic countries, you want to visit any of the Nordic countries or Scandinavian countries, I would recommend you check out Norway or Finland. Denmark's all right. Just nothing really happens in Denmark. I mean, we have some, of course, we have places where you can drink. But if you're there to drink, then sure, I would go somewhere else. I'd go to a Greek island or somewhere where there's a lot of parties. I wouldn't go to Denmark if you wanted to go drink. You know, I wouldn't recommend Sweden. And that's not just because I'm Danish. A lot of people don't recommend Sweden. Even Swedish people don't recommend Sweden. You may say to me that's not true. Ask them. Seriously. Ask them. It's an okay country in some parts. But a lot of rape. You know, a lot of rape. But it doesn't matter. Anyways, have a good time. I'll see you, maybe not tomorrow, but I will see you eventually again. Thank you